were asked the question, what do you want to be when you grow up in elementary school? What was your response? When asked this question in elementary school, I remember always thinking, how am I supposed to know what I'm going to want to be in 15 plus years? I would always give a different answer. Baseball player, astronaut. Sometimes I would just copy whatever the person called on in front of me would say, just to appease my teacher. As of March of 2017, I am 27 years old, and I believe I have finally found the answer to that question. I'm Daniel Gargiulo, and the following is a story of my life up until now. I was born June 3rd, 1989, in Queens, New York, to two loving parents, Mary and Salvatore Gargiulo. I've been told that ball was my first word, and from then on, I've always had an undying love of sports. We moved to Cranford, New Jersey when I was about 5 years old. This is where my younger brother Eric and my younger sister Michelle spent our childhoods. This is when sports started to truly become a way of life for us. You could find us on all of the organized sports teams: baseball, soccer, football, basketball, you name it. When not there, we would be playing pickup sports with our buddies. If we were not doing any of the above, we would be with our mom and dad watching our favorite teams play, which are the New York Jets, the Yankees, the Rangers, and the Knicks. It seemed like the only time we were away from sports was for my mother's yearly holiday photo. During this time, the only thing I could see myself having for a career was a professional baseball player. In 2013, I entered Cranford High School as a freshman. For the next 4 years, I kept up my good grades because that was the only way I would be able to play on the sports teams. My friends were my teammates, and I was happy. In 2007, I was enrolled into St. Joseph's University, which is in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Unfortunately, because of an injury, I was unable to play baseball for the school's team. I kept myself happy by playing in all different kinds of recreational and club sports teams throughout my time here. Again, I met most of my friends I still have to this day by either competing against them or being teammates with them. It was not much of a surprise that when my sophomore year was coming to an end, my major was still undeclared. I still felt like that elementary school student who was asked, "What do you want to be when you grow up?" Except this time, my answer would be, "I am grown up, but how am I supposed to know what I'm going to want to be for the rest of my life?" St. Joseph's had a very good business program, and I ended up graduating in 2011 with a business major. My thought process was that I knew I wasn't going to have a career as a baseball player, and I decided that it was time to grow up and pick a career that would help me provide for my future family.
Hi, this is Eric, Daniel's brother. Soon after graduating, Daniel took his first job in Manhattan, New York as a marketing intern. Over the next 4 years, he was promoted multiple times and found himself as marketing coordinator. He was congratulated by everyone, including myself. Everybody thought he was very happy with where his life was heading.
Thanks, Eric. Unfortunately, this could not have been further from the truth. There was no time for playing in recreational sports leagues anymore, and I felt like working a desk job 5 days a week was taking a major toll on my happiness. Until this point, I had stayed in shape not just for my health, but to stay competitive in sports leagues. I believe that the lack of athletic competition was starting to take a major toll on my health. I was still not sure what I wanted to be when I grew up, but I knew that what I was currently doing was not sustainable. Fall of 2015, I received a call from my old high school baseball coach, who also happens to be a principal at an inclusive education school in my hometown of Cranford. He asked if I knew anyone that I trusted who was looking for a job in education. He also mentioned there was a coaching opening in his baseball program, and if I knew any of my old teammates that would be interested in coaching there. I told him that I would ask around and let him know. Over the next 24 hours is when I decided to make a leap of faith. I called my old coach the next day, and I told him I was interested in both positions. I have now been working at the Cranford Achievement Program School for a year and a half, and I truly love working with the students there every day. I am also coaching the Cranford baseball team I once played for, and I could not be happier with my decision. I have time to play in sports leagues again, and in turn have never been healthier. I enrolled in St. Peter's University in the spring of 2016 to get my teaching certification and have no regrets about the leap of faith I made when I switched careers. This all brings me to today in the March of 2017. I now finally have an answer to the question, what do you want to be when you grow up? And it reminds me of a story John Lennon of the Beatles once told, narrated by my sister Michelle.
When I was 5 years old, my mother always told me that happiness was the key to life. When I went to school, they asked me what I wanted to be when I grew up. I wrote down happy. They told me I didn't understand the assignment, and I told them they didn't understand life.
I now have the same answer John Lennon had as a 5-year-old. I want to be happy. And so far, being an educator and a coach does just that.